Hello my friends, hope you're doing great, and today I would like to answer a simple question: what is better, free trade or closed economy? And also would like to explain you the basics of trade. So let's start by the basic tutorial. If you click this button, you will see your trade. The only values that matters are the ones over here. This is your superávit or deficit. So we have a surplus of 2 oil, a deficit of aluminum, a deficit of rubber, and so on, and a superávit of iron. Usually when I start playing the game, I press also these buttons below. That means that we have a pre-existing trade deal. We are going to reset them, so we know exactly that now we have no trade with anyone. I prefer to start from here to see what I have. So basically, when you want to buy some material, you click on the icon, in this example rubber, and it will sort all the possible vendors. So we click the first one, and you are going to exchange one civilian factory for 8 materials. But take a look at this. Let's see that we are using now rubber for producing trucks, but all the trucks have primary material and secondary material. So we are lacking 5 rubber, but we have the iron, and we are producing 4.2. So now we are going to buy the rubber and see the real effect. We click the rubber, the nearby provider. It's always good to buy from a provider that you have a land connection, so you don't risk the enemy submarines or the enemy ships. And let's go back. Now let's go back to the production, and now we are producing 5 a day. So we went about 0.7, sorry, from 0.3, I don't remember exactly, but as you can see, the impact is not so huge. That's because you have 2 or 3 materials and you are lacking just one. You have some materials that are more important than others, so you have primary and secondary, and you can check the real effect. So usually when you start the game and you are buying or maybe producing rifles from the First World War, it's kind of useless to buy and spend your civilian factories for producing all junk. So I usually don't buy unless I really need that material, I needed that production, and I only buy when I lack about 8 points. If I lack less than 8 points, I usually do not buy. What about puppets? For example, we have a puppet here as China. This is Guangxi Clicks, that is down here, and as you can see, they produce a lot of iron, but since they are puppet, we can exchange just one civilian factories in exchange for a lot of iron. So it's much better to do deals with your puppets. Also, if you check the production screen, you will see a value here that says from trade 6. This means that we are gaining 6 civilian factories from our sales of raw materials. So we have a base 68 civilian factories, and we must add 6 extra civilian factories from our export. So we have a +5 because you are spending just one factory in imports, and we are gaining 6 from export. So this kind is positive for us. What else? Now to answer the question, as you can see, you have some commercial stances. One is free trade, and in the opposite side you have closed economy and some in between. Basically, the more open the economy, the more benefits you receive. For example, you have construction speed +15, you have research speed +10, you have factories production output in rifles, material and ships 15, a lot, and so on. On the other hand, you have closed economy that you receive no benefits, and the in between you receive in between benefits. So as you can see, it may seem that free trade is better, and actually it's better. Usually when you start the game, I usually go for free trade because you are going to boost your civilian factories a lot to construct more civilian factories, or any kind of factories faster in this particular scenario. As China, we have free trade, even we just finished the war, and we keep with free trade. We have tons of factories, and we started with very little, and that is because we have consumer goods zero, so it's 100% reinvestment, and with the free trade plus the minister that gives you a boost to civilian factory construction, we could improve our civilian factory capacity a lot. So usually free trade, if you can hold it, is better in this particular scenario. Also, we not only receive many benefits, but we also receive 6 factories. If we check the materials from, for example, iron, you see that we are producing a lot, but we are exporting a lot. Also, another important concept is that you cannot stockpile. For example, this surplus, and this surplus is going to the trash. If you do not use it on that same term, you are going to waste it. The only material that you can store is oil, and you store it here. As you can see, when the line reaches the top, there is no point in keep buying oil. But for the rest, it's the same to have a surplus of one or a lot. Also, here we are exporting a lot, but maybe we have no buyers. For example, as the Soviet Union, since they are communist, they have not many friends, so they are forced to, if you say, let's say that you want to export, you're not going to find many buyers, and as you can see, we are exporting a lot, but 6 or 5 factories that we are getting in exchange for all these materials means that we are still wasting some resources that are not being used. So there is no way to calculate until you switch to free trade and see for a while if you have buyers for your materials. And what about closed economy, limited economy? Well, usually when you are in the axis as Germany or Italy, you can't make trade deals with anyone except Germany and Italy, so you're going to be lacking trade partners, and it's a good idea to switch to limited trade or not closed economy. Usually with limited trade you have enough. Maybe as the Soviet Union too, I don't know, it's yes, you're not going to be trading with many people, no one wants to buy you, so it's also a good idea to keep limited trade. And that's the strategy. Usually you should start with free trade if you can. Do not spend civilian factories buying materials unless it's critical. You're going to have a war very early, and later switch to limited economy if you can't get the materials from trade. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Happy to have you there, and see you on the next one.